Let's start off by talking about distance versus displacement. In class, we said that distance is the space between two objects. Or it is the space an object travels. Okay, so that's distance. It's from how far do you travel to get to a place? How far do you travel to get to school from your house? That is your distance, the path at which you take. The path you travel is another way to think about distance, especially when we're comparing it to displacement. The path you travel. Okay? Now that we have that, we have a solid definition for distance. Now let's talk about displacement. Displacement is basically you have a distance and direction. Okay? Direction and distance. So that's what your displacement is. It's you have a starting point, and then your displacement is how far away from your starting point you are. From your starting point. In a certain direction, because you always need a direction with your displacement. Okay. Now that we have those two definitions, let's think about this for a little bit. All right, let's draw a little picture, if you will, of what the two things are. So if you have a starting point of being A, all right, and A can be whatever you want it to be. It can be your house, it can be school, it can be a friend's house, whatever you want it to be. That is point A, your starting point. All right, and then B. B is where you finish. All right, or B is your destination. All right. Now, if you go from point A to point B, all right, your distance can be, for this case, let's say it's 5 kilometers. All right, we keep it 5 kilometers because we want to keep it in metric units, and it's 5 kilometers is the same thing of about 3.2 miles, and so it's a reasonable distance from your house to a friend's house, or from your house to school, or to the grocery store, or something like that. All right, so your distance is 5 kilometers. That is your distance. Now, your displacement is not just the 5 kilometers, which it is. That's a very, very big part of it. That's half of it. All right. Displacement is 5 kilometers. But in this sketch, all right, if we're using north, south, east, and west, if we're using our cardinal directions, all right, we see that this is 5 kilometers east, all right, because you need a direction with your displacement. So while your distance is 5 kilometers, your displacement is 5 kilometers east. All right. Now, say we have the same starting point, all right, and we have your house, and I'm going to stick with school, all right. B is school, all right, and it's 5 kilometers. So you go to school every morning, all right. Then after school, you go back home. So now we're going back home, all right, and it's the same distance. You're still going 5 kilometers, all right, But now, let's look at our total distance. We have 5 kilometers going from A to B, and then we have another 5 kilometers going from B to A. So that means that our distance is going to be 10 kilometers because of the round trip situation that we have going on here. Now, our displacement. Remember, our displacement is coming from our starting point. So, since we started at the house and we're ending back at the house, our displacement is 0. Alright? If you wanted to find that in mathematical terms, like, well, I went 5 kilometers in one direction, and in the opposite direction, I went 5 kilometers again. And whenever you have opposite directions, you subtract your two distances to get your displacement. And there you have it.